Hey everyone, it's Sammy and welcome back. I hope that this video is going to find you guys at a good time. I know midterms are right around the corner, that's why I wanted to make a video that's going to help you guys ace those exams. I'm so excited to be partnering with Course Hero today to share my secrets on how I study in college. School is extremely important to me and I know that for many of you, school can be one of the biggest stressors in your life. I love Course Hero because it's a great study resource that has information and materials on classes I'm actually taking, and there's 24/7 online tutors. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the ways that I use Course Hero to study and all my other study tips that I've learned throughout my first year of college. I know adjusting to college is hard enough on its own, that's why I wanted to put this video together so that studying can be something that you find a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and get started with this video. Okay, so my first tip for doing well in college is to go to office hours. Office hours are extremely helpful, and for me, I didn't really want to go my first quarter of college just because I was really scared. I highly advise going to office hours because it's the best way to get that one-on-one help. Not only does it help you answer your questions, but it also gives that professor a face to the name and really can help you in the long run. I've had friends that got their grades bumped at the end of the quarter just because they went to office hours and that teacher or professor knew that they were really trying. Something else I find super helpful is rewriting your notes or reorganizing them before a midterm or an exam. Personally, I like to take all my notes by hand during class. Sometimes I'll type them up on the computer, but otherwise I just handwrite them. And then before midterms or any test, I like to rewrite them and categorize them into different ways and then color code them so that I'm kind of learning material rather than just memorizing them on a certain page of notes I've already made. I'll also try to make study questions for myself or ask myself things that the professor would generally ask in class. I try to think this material, and then I try to think I need to know this much so that when I get the test that has only this many questions on it, I can really cover all that and really get a good grade on it. Something else I think is very helpful is to get into a study group right when you get into class. Those first week or two, definitely reach out to people, get their Snapchats, get their phone numbers, and make a group chat. Send your homework questions or anything you have going on just because it is such a great way to kind of get that help outside of your professor. Now I also just want to talk about Course Hero a little bit more. I've been using Course Hero now and it is so helpful. I remember in high school I would look up something and try to find an answer to help myself figure it out, but then I would get to something called Course Hero and I was like, what the heck is that? And I'd kind of click away. But I am coming to you guys to tell you that it's so helpful. I've been talking to my roommates and friends about it and they've all used it or wanted to use it, and I know that it's such an amazing program. For my biology class that I'm taking this quarter, you guys can kind of see what I'm doing right now, but I went on, I put in my classes, there's a bio lecture and a bio lab online. You can find past tests that would maybe be reused on certain questions, or I can find examples of problems that they would ask, which I think is really helpful just because sometimes as a first year in college especially, you don't really know how the professor will test you or how deep the questions would be. So getting on Course Hero and kind of learning what students at your university have actually taken tests on is super helpful. Something else I really like about Course Hero is that you can ask questions literally 24/7, which is seriously amazing. I ask a question and literally 10 or 15 minutes later there's an answer with a full definition and explanation for me, so it really helps me get work done faster and more efficiently just because I have someone kind of checking my work or helping me. I think what I love most about Course Hero is it's the best way to get unstuck. So much of the time I would get into a problem on my homework or something I was studying and I would really just kind of want to give up just because I felt there was never going to be a way for me to solve it and I felt very frustrated. So having Course Hero as that kind of helper is super helpful for me. Sorry Summer, I'm going to use you as an example on this, but my best friend goes to school in Santa Barbara and she used Course Hero and literally got an A in her class because she needed that help, she needed that extra boost, and being able to look up stuff and kind of get a better idea of what she would be tested on was seriously the thing that she needed to get that A in the class. I know some of you guys might be a little worried about paying for a subscription to Course Hero just because we are all broke college students, but what I would say is that you're able to submit your notes for certain classes that you have at your university and they'll review them and all of that, and you guys can get a free subscription to Course Hero. I think that is the best thing ever because why not give back and help someone else going to be in your shoes in a few months and also get it for free in return. Now I want to get into some other tips that I have kind of learned throughout my first year of college. The next one being distributive practice. Every night when I get home from a class, I go ahead, open up my notes, and kind of like review what I just learned. I also try to do this like right before I go into the next class so that I'm not confused on what I had learned a few days ago and I can really be present in what I'm learning in that moment in class. I think this is really helpful, and I definitely have seen like the improvements just through that alone of like reviewing what I've already learned so that I'm ready to gain the new material. Another thing about Course Hero that I really like, just to jump back onto that, is that they have textbook problems that you can use as practice for your exams. Being able to kind of dive deeper and learn the material through textbook problems is a very good sign that you're actually going to do well on the exam. Something else that will seriously change the way you get a grade in a class is to actually go to class. I think that even if your professor does not take attendance, you should definitely go, because you're missing an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours of important information that will be on an exam. And then the last tip that I have is really just getting sleep and exercise. I noticed that when I would spend every day at the library my winter quarter of freshman year, I got significantly lower grades than when I had distributed even practice throughout the quarter for my spring term at Cal Poly. I ended up sleeping a lot more in spring. I got way less sick, which was so helpful because I was sick so much of freshman year, and I was able to actually have a more of a college experience by like going to the gym and hanging out with friends and doing all that stuff. I think all of that accounted for me feeling more present in class and actually learning the material while I was sitting there, rather than kind of being tired in class and waiting to have to go back to the library and study all the material that I kind of half learned because I was tired. Now, I also have something really important to share with you guys. I think this is so cool that Course Hero is doing this, so I want to explain. If you visit this link right here, I'm also going to include it in the description so you can go check it out instead of typing it in. You can just click it right there. You can enter to win a $50,000 cash prize if you enter now until December 15th, 2019. You can also win a MacBook Pro, or you could win a flight and hotel package. That sounds really awesome if you ask me. I know I'm going to go enter for that just because I would love to have the chance to win any of those things. And to enter, all you have to do is enter 10 original documents that you've created so that Course Hero can use your materials in their website to help other students like you at your university and in your classes. Every 10 documents that you upload counts as another entry into the sweepstakes. And if you're like me and have thousands of pages of notes, then there's no limit on how many times you can enter. And the best part of all of this, even if you don't win and you went through all that effort, you get free access to using Course Hero. I hope you guys found these tips super helpful. I know that these are things I would have wanted to know going into my freshman year, because genuinely I thought I studied really well in high school, and when I came to college I was really confused on why my grades weren't as good. Really, it just took me learning how to study and learning how to adjust to college. So I hope that this video will find a good use in your life. Make sure that you guys go on to Course Hero right now, check it out, upload those 10 documents of notes that you guys have, and you'll be entered into the $50,000 cash prize sweepstakes. If you don't win, you still get to use Course Hero for free, which is literally the best gift of them all, because you're gonna get way better grades and use this as a great resource. I know my roommate Shay is literally on Course Hero right now studying for her financial accounting class, so go ahead and check it out. I hope that you guys love this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!